Tom stood at the block, hacking at a slab of meat with a wicked-looking chopper. The muscle in his thick arm knotted above the elastic that banded the sleeve of his white shirt. Catching sight of Samuel, he winked and called out a greeting without breaking the strong, steady rhythm of the chopper as it sliced cleanly through the bone. A woman stood near the counter, clutching a shawl about her skinny shoulders as she waited for her order. Samuel nodded to her and lifted his cap, then called out to Tom. "I've come for the Pennyfoot's order. Michel said he dropped it off to you last night before you went down the pub." "Right." Tom paused, wiping a hand down his blood-smeared, blue-striped apron. "I've got most of it, but he wants a side of beef. Get you downstairs, there's a good lad, and pick one out for me, will you? I've got to take care of this order here for Lord Witherskill, and it'll take me a while." Samuel nodded and touched his cap again at the woman before heading for the steps to the cellar. If there was one thing he hated, he thought, as he slowly descended the narrow wooden staircase, it was having to go down in that stinking cellar. He wasn't partial to the smell of a butcher's shop anyway, but it was a whole lot better than the stench that awaited him in the cold, dark shadows below. This was where the carcasses hung, until Tom could get them cut up into the various joints. Great, huge slabs of red raw meat, swinging side by side from the racks overhead, dripping blood everywhere. It was enough to make Samuel bring up his breakfast. As he reached the foot of the steps, he could see the chickens swinging upside down with their ruffled feathers waiting to be plucked. Their beady eyes stared at him from their dead faces, which hung limply from twisted yellow necks. The sooner he got out of there, the better, Samuel told himself, trying to avoid the sticky puddles that even the sawdust and straw couldn't disguise. At the back of the cellar, in the darkest corner, the long rack ran across the rafters, bearing its grisly weight of raw beef. Samuel shivered in the cool, moist air. He wouldn't be a butcher if they paid him £100 a month. He crept forward, squinting in the dim light that filtered through the dusty window high above his head. He should have brought a lamp with him, he thought, as he spread out his hands in front of him, though how in the heck he was supposed to know a good side of beef from a bad one, he had no idea. The choice was easy. Take the first one he laid hands on. That was the worst part, grabbing hold of that cold, lifeless lump of flesh wrapped in its gauze stocking. His hands touched a carcass, and he clutched at it, bracing himself to take the weight as he lifted it off the hook. The beef came off easily, and he grunted under the heavy burden as he balanced it on his shoulder. He was about to turn away when something caught his eye. He looked, and looked again. That wasn't a side of beef he was looking at, his mind assured him. It was a man, hanging from a hook next to the swaying beef, with his chin on his chest and his face as white as chalk, as a man only can look, with every drop of blood drained out of him.